So much went down in these 2 episodes. Amaya was definitely the hot commodity this episode. All of the guys wanted her attention because they heard America loves Amaya. And your Love Island said, Cierra, it's time to go. Now, Nickolandria stands. I know y'all are praising and rejoicing. Y'all are happy.
Kay Unscripted, no teens restricted. In this journey, watch our stories unfold.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Kay and this is Kay Unscripted. Today I'm going to be breaking down Love Island Season 7, episodes 28 and 30. Episode 29 was After Stern. We're not getting into that, so we're just going to do these 2 episodes together. Now, before we get into this, please take a moment and like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel for more recaps like this one. Now, y'all, let's get into it because there's so much to discuss. So the episode starts off with Iris, who is very sad because TJ has just left the villa. And of course, she's in tears. She said that she doesn't want to start over. Then we see Taylor, who has come to the realization that America doesn't like him. And as a result of that, Clark has been getting smoke from America because she's coupled up with Taylor. He tells her he doesn't really like the fact that she was voted so low just because of him. And he says that he realizes that one decision can change everything. Anyways, he stands on his decision because he said this is the happiest he's ever felt and good for Taylor. But can he go home next? Okay. Shelly and Ace are talking. They're both surprised that they were on the bottom. And we know that's because people were not feeling Shelly because of the Huda and Ace situation and the way Shelly dealt with it. They were calling her mean girl and all kinds of things, you know. And we also know that some people are not feeling Ace as well. I don't understand the Shelly hate, but you know what? It is what it is. She will rise above it, period. Now, the Casa guys are discussing Iris. Chris is saying that it's concerning to him that Iris is possibly still open because to him, if he's feeling someone so much and they were sent home, he would live with them. And I'm just like, okay, Chris, let's just say it was your situation with Huda. Huda went home. Would you have went home with her? Okay, please keep quiet. Unless you're in the situation, don't talk. Moving right along. So the Islanders are getting ready for bed. Nickolandria is in the makeup room and she tells Iris that it kind of hurts her that Cierra stood behind Taylor for the vote. Then we see Cierra coming in and she says she did that because of Nick. And she knows that he would have been devastated if Taylor went home. And I'm just like, okay, so you made a decision for your guy because you valued his opinion more than your friend. You were just talking about girls girl. Are you a girls girl? Okay, we just found out that you're not a girls girl. I'm almost certain I heard Nickolandria say it's fine. And I'm like, girl, no, it's not. Because you were saying that it made you feel some type of way. So you probably should have had a chat with Cierra about that. We don't know if that chat would have happened the next day because Cierra went home anyways. So it's the next morning. Anyways, Pepe is checking in with Iris. We did see him the night before, offering to snuggle and cuddle with her. Is this something waiting to happen? But he's just checking in to see how she's doing. They both can relate to the situation that Iris is going through because Pepe did have someone that he was getting really close to who left the villa. So they talk about that and I can definitely see this thing growing into something like Nickolandria said, Pepe definitely has a type. Now Huda and Chris have a chat and she's walking up to him, her hand is filled and she's literally asking him, can you please help me? Can you take these things out of my hands? Anyways, he tells her about a dream he had about football and that he's really down about it. And it makes him question if he would still want to continue to play. He says that being gone overseas and playing for a long time kind of puts him in the position where he doesn't have time for anything. He also said that he would like to do other things, but playing overseas kind of takes over all of his time. Now, let's just see it on the perspective of a relationship. Will you have time to invest into a relationship? I just kind of feel like this is what he's saying, that he may not have time to invest into anything, but why are you on Love Island? I feel like a lot of people have seen how much comes out of being on Love Island, and so they know that maybe their careers are not going in the path that they would have wanted it to be, and they've come to the show to kind of progress in their career. Anyway, Huda tells him that for her it's a pause, and she feels the same way when it comes to her daughter. We haven't seen her talk too much about her daughter, and she tells him he doesn't have to give it up because he can pursue multiple things at the same time. She also talks about how she felt broken at one point and she still had to raise her daughter. She knew that better was coming, and so she encourages him to have that same mindset that better was coming. I feel like that was a nice little moment. We saw a little bit of a softer side of Huda, and that was a nice conversation that they had. Then Brian and Nick are working out. Nick is shocked that Brian stood behind Jaden. He's saying that he was interested in Jaden. They had a chat and things took off. He was really enjoying it. But for him, the vibes were off with Andrina, and that's why he decided to explore his other connections. He talks about how him and Amaya are getting along really well and he's looking forward to spending more time getting to know Amaya. Then we see a conversation between Amaya and Clark. Amaya is such a sweet girl. She's checking in with Clark because she got voted last for everything and she wanted to just see how Clark is doing and to encourage her a little bit. Amaya told Clark that she doesn't agree with the votes and she hopes that people get to see the sweet side of Clark. They got to see that side of her because she has felt like she's been misunderstood, and it feels good that people are now starting to understand who Amaya is. I feel like that was really nice of Amaya to speak that into Clark's life, and I hope we get to see a little bit more of Clark's personality because there hasn't been too much centered around Clark. Shelly made breakfast for Ace. They head over to the dock. They're having breakfast together. They talk about how low they were voted. And Shelly's like, I don't even understand what they saw or what they see. But as long as you see me, and he says, I see you, I know who you are. And that's really all that matters. She also tells him that she doesn't want to explore anymore because she doesn't want to lose him. And I was kind of disappointed in Ace in that moment. He said, thank you, I appreciate you. I'm hoping that maybe he's going to do something grand to close off things with Shelly because that was literally her telling him, I want to close things off. Anyways, Elan gets a text that reads, Islanders, get ready to lose control in today's challenge, crashing out. So here's how the game goes. Each guy picks a wing woman or a wingman to help them make a decision. Then they make their way through a slimy pool. They get some humble pie and then announce the latest crash out. And to seal it off, they choose someone to share a kiss with. Now, the game was extremely messy. I skipped right through it. There's not too much to talk about this game. But once they get back to the villa, the girls and the guys separate. The girls talk about their kisses. Amaya said she enjoyed her kiss with Brian. Iris also said that she would like to explore with Peppy because they too shared a kiss and she really enjoyed it. Simultaneously, we see Brian saying that he enjoyed his kiss with Amaya, and Peppy said the same for Iris, that he would like to explore his connection with her. Now, later on in the evening, Zack pulls Amaya for a chat. So he talks about the stand on business challenge and he tells her that he felt bad when he saw her crying, and so he apologizes to her again. She also apologizes to him for the way she spoke to him. She told him that no matter what is happening, no one should ever speak to anyone that way, and that was really nice and humble of Amaya to apologize to Zack. He then starts complimenting her, telling her how beautiful she looks. And I cannot help but think that he's doing that now because he realized that Amaya is the girl. He realized that America loves Amaya. And he thinks that she's stupid. He can tell her whatever he needs to tell her to go to the end with her. But Amaya is not that dumb. Amaya saw right through him and she told him that She just wants to start over back at number one. And in her confessional, she said that the romance is done between them. She just wants to be friends with Zack. Now we see him pursuing her a little bit more, but we know he's trying to secure his spot in the villa. Then there's a chat with Nick and Cierra. She's checking in to see how he's feeling because there hasn't been too much one-on-one time between them since their date. So she's asking him how he's feeling since they closed things off. He's saying that he feels good. She says she feels good as well. He asks her, well, what does that mean to her? She says to her, closing things off would mean that they will not explore any connections, but they're kind of leaning towards being boyfriend and girlfriend one day, and that kind of links with the real world, that they're working towards being an official couple. He said that he feels the same way about her as well. This is the last we see of Cierra though. And then there's a conversation between Shelly and Chris. She said she wanted to pull him to just kind of have a chat because they haven't really talked since everything went down at the Standing on Business challenge. He said he pulled back because he saw her getting comfort from Ace, and so he decided to explore his connection with Huda. She said that she was just overwhelmed, but at this point, they're both growing in their couple. And it's like perception. He had his perception, she had hers. Maybe if they had a little chat from before all of that went down, maybe, because I feel like Chris was really into Shelly a lot. And I feel like no matter what, Shelly would have picked Ace. But anyways, they hug it out and they decide that they're just going to support each other in their decisions to couple up with whomever. Peppy and Iris have a chat, and I love seeing this too. She tells him that she doesn't like sleeping alone. He doesn't like sleeping alone either. She talks about how she's only had 3 boyfriends before, and he said he loves that about her. I feel like these two can grow into a really strong couple. Then Brian and Amaya have another chat. This is the most open I've seen Amaya with any other guy. They talk about going out or staying in. She says she only goes out for special occasions like for a birthday dinner or something of that nature. Typically she's at home. He asked her what her love language is, and she said besides physical touch in a good way. And once she said that, I'm feeling like this poor girl has had to put a disclaimer out anytime she's talking to a guy, because these idiotic guys in the villa have made her feel like she's doing too much. But Brian tells her he wants to meet her where she is at. Their cons are pros for him. He tells her that he doesn't want her to change anything about herself, be her authentic self. She says that she feels like she's really safe around him. He tells her he would like to explore his connection with her, and they shared a kiss. What I loved about that is that he initiated the kiss, because before we've seen Amaya always being the one reaching for the kiss. So I love that he kind of let her know, I want to explore you, I'm into you. And he's letting her know what his intentions are with her. And I love that for Amaya. Now we're on episode 30. We're still at the night after the challenge. Huda and Chris have a chat. She says that she's surprised that none of the other guys pulled her for kisses. And once she said that, you could tell that Chris was a little bit put off by her saying that. He's asked her like, why? And she said, because we're still exploring. He said, well, we're getting serious in our connection because you're telling me personal things about you that I know you wouldn't just share with anyone. And so she says, well, she likes that she's able to do that with him, but she wants a best friend kind of relationship, someone she can kiki with and have a good time with. And they share some not so funny jokes, but it works for them. Now everyone heads to bed and it's the next day. And y'all, for the first time, we see Taylor planning a date without Ace telling him what to do. He actually planned this whole date out for Clark. He didn't need any help from Ace besides him being the waiter. And I'm just like, wow, he's all grown up now. Round of applause for Taylor. He grew some balls. He's a man now. But Amaya goes upstairs to stall Clark from coming downstairs. Then Ace goes up to meet Clark, and he was cracking me up the entire time, the way he was running around the villa. But anyways, she heads downstairs and she's obviously smitten because her dream date is a picnic and this is what Taylor had planned for her. She asks him what his plans are once they exit the villa. He's talking about his farm, he misses his animals, and he's asking her if she's ready to live that type of lifestyle. She says she's down for it, but you could tell that Clark is not that girl. Clark doesn't look like the kind of girl that likes to get dirty and messy, and I don't blame her. Iris and Peppy have a chat, and the more they talk to each other, the more they realize that they have so much in common. They both bond with their dads, with movies. They both love music. Iris also learned that Peppy plays a bunch of instruments, and they both are vibing with each other. They have so much in common. There's a follow-up chat between Amaya and Brian, and they too have so much in common with each other. Their family backgrounds are the same. Amaya tells us that she's the first generation to be born in America, and she's also the first nurse in her family. She tells Brian that she feels safe around him, and he says that he wants someone who will make him feel young, and he feels that with Amaya. I love how from the beginning that Brian stood up for Amaya, letting them know, like, listen, this is who she is. There's nothing she can do about it because this is part of her culture. And he's enjoyed those very same things because he comes from the same background. Now, this is the moment where we found out that Cierra has left the villa. They then shipped her back to where she came from. All they told us is that she went home for personal reasons. Now we know there's so much that has been going on around Cierra. She used a slur. It was something from her past a long time ago, and apparently they decided to send her home. Nick is having a hard time processing the way forward for him because Cierra was his strongest connection, and at this point he doesn't know what he's going to do. Zack pulls Amaya for a chat, and suddenly he wants to confess his feelings for her, saying, oh, he still cares for her. She understands him out of all of the girls. He found himself wanting to speak to her more and more. He loves being around her. Also, now you want to give her attention, Zack? Yeah, okay. Go home. Just go ahead and do like your boy Austin. Go ahead, Zack. Pack your bags, Zack. While you're at it, Zack, call the cop. Yeah, go ahead. Get out of the villa. But Amaya is too sweet, like we already know. She tells him that she's open to still exploring him, but we know she doesn't want to hurt his feelings. I would have done him like Olandra did him, save your words. But Amaya is not going to do that. Now, I enjoyed this conversation between Ace and Shelly. This is the most open we've seen Ace. I've talked about wanting to hear more about Ace to find out who Ace really is. But he asked her about her upbringing, and Shelly said, you know, she grew up in a home where you were made to feel like you make the best of what you have. She talked about how they had to move out and live in a shelter for a long time, and how she and her siblings leaned on each other. Now they're in a better situation. And I feel like for us in the Caribbean, well, at least for me in my home, that was the kind of mindset that my mother taught me, and my mother raised me up to be content with what I have and to never get jealous of what people had. And she always said this thing to me, pa jalo vib moun because upa have sa yo fe pou henli. Pretty much saying that don't get jealous of people's lives because you don't know what they did to get what they have. And that is something that she instilled in me, to be humble and to be gracious with where I am in my life, what I have, where I'm going, and to just be content no matter what. So I definitely was able to relate to Shelly when she spoke about her upbringing. He said, on the other hand, that he grew up really fast, and he also talked about the struggle and having to sleep on beach chairs. He had to deal with a lot at an early age, and that kind of made him who he is. So I feel like Ace has a lot of walls up because he had a really tough upbringing too, and it's probably still something that he's not comfortable talking about. He's probably not healed completely about it, and I quite understand that because Sometimes things affect you in a really major way, and it takes a lot of healing to get out of that situation. I applaud Ace for being more open, and I hope people see that side of him and appreciate that he was a little bit more open. We then see a chat between Olandria and Nick. Olandria tells him that it's sad this is what things turned out to be with Cierra because she's no longer in the villa, and that was his strongest connection. They were closed off and they were working towards, something more, right? She also tells him that it's always been Nick and Sierra's journey, and she feels like it's never been Nick's journey. So she's offering her support to him and letting him know that she has his back and she's going to be there for him. Whatever he needs, he can count on her. Here's what Nick says to her. I literally wrote this down because I felt like that was so sweet of Nick to say. When I think about a girl in here who I have been enjoying my time with and who I'm comfortable with, who I'm attracted to, someone I feel who would have my back, that person would be you. And I feel like that thing I really appreciate about you is bringing out a manlier side of me. We've never heard Nick speak that way to Cierra. We've never seen him, even when they were on their date. She's like, am I your dream girl? He didn't actually respond. He told Olandria, you're the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. Olandria tells him she's open to finding a connection with him. She's not mad that Taylor found a new connection. For her, it was just the way he went about it. So Nick said, well, how do you feel about them being last? She said, I felt great. Period. I felt great. Now they have a nice little laugh, and it's just crazy to me that they had a chance to explore their connection, and here's another chance to explore their connection again. Is it fate? Now all of the guys are pulling Amaya for chats. She had a chat with Elan, and I'm not even going to get into it. Olandria and Zack also have a chat, and for me, I just feel like he's trying to secure his spot by any means necessary. In the chat, he's asking her what kind of guy she's looking for because he knows that she is very independent. Olandria says she needs someone who provides, and she's not talking about financially. She has her own stuff. Bills will get paid no matter what, but she's looking for someone who's going to be emotionally supportive, who's going to be present. He said he can provide. He's a handyman. He wants someone who gets him. And somehow Zack thought he could have gotten a kiss from Olandria. She's not into you. She knows what you're doing. You're going to do whatever you have to do to stay in that villa a little bit longer, but your time is up. Your time is up, my boy. Huda gets a text that says tonight there will be a recoupling. The girls will choose and the boys not picked will be single and vulnerable. Clearly, some people are shaking in their boots and the guys are putting pressure on Amaya because they don't want to go home, but some people have to go home. So it's later on in the evening and we see a chat between Nick and Olandria again. He tells her that he appreciates her and how she brings out a lot of great things in him. She said that she wants to explore with him because she just cannot understand how they've had an opportunity to explore before and they couldn't because they were so immersed in the connection that they both had with someone else. But here's another opportunity to explore it, and she's like, has it always been Nick? Has this thing always been in my face and we've not been working towards it? So here's an opportunity for them to finally find out if there's something between them. He said Nickolandria sounds good. Little does he know that is actually Nickolandria. I know the Nickolandria stands are happy. They couldn't wait to see this happening, and somehow it happened again. Then we see Ariana strutting into the villa with yet another bomb outfit, and she summons everyone to the fire pit. She tells them that the girls will be picking the boys and anyone who's not in a couple goes home. The guys are all in the front, and here is how the recoupling went down. Shelly was the first one to go up, and of course, she picks Ace, followed by Clark, who picks Taylor. Huda picks Chris. Iris picks Peppy. Orlandria picks Nick. And the three remaining guys were Brian, Zack, and Elan. So Amaya was the deciding vote. And I had no doubt in my mind, based on the things that she was saying, that she was going to pick Brian. So that means that Zack and Elan were eliminated and they went home. While the guys are helping Zack and Elan to go home, the girls are sitting together talking about the two new connections between Amaya and her new couple and Orlandria and her new couple. And the girls are just hyping them up, finally happy that Amaya has found somebody that she really likes, hoping that these two go to the end, as well as Nick and Orlandria. Now, the night ends with Nick and Orlandria talking about how the hell we got here again. They're both trying to figure out if it was meant to be. They've always had respect for the persons that they were with, but here they are again, about to figure out if there's something romantic between them, because they have such a solid friendship with each other. I'm just happy for my girl Orlandria, because she deserves someone who worships the ground that she walks on. She deserves someone who sees her as the queen that she is. She deserves someone who sees her values and her morals and appreciates those things about her. And I definitely see the spark between these two. We have seen Nick constantly complimenting Orlandria, calling her my queen, telling her how beautiful she looks. You know, he worships Orlandria. We haven't seen this spark between Nick and Cierra, but we're seeing it with Nick and Orlandria. Now, guys, this is where the episode ends, and this has been my recap for Love Island USA Season 7, episodes 28 and 30. Please tell me how you felt about these two episodes. Are you a Nickolandria stan? Please let me know. If you are, or if you're not, share all of your thoughts with me on this episode, and I'll definitely be with you in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!